Boxing doctor in the house. Excited about the return of Wilder. He's fighting against Helenius. It should be an interesting fight. We don't know where Deontay Wilder is mentally after the loss against Tyson Fury, and that fight was really something big, one of the biggest heavyweight boxing match in a long time. And I think Tyson Fury and Wilder revived the heavyweight division with these legendary three fights. We have Noaf here, a friend of mine. He's gonna speak with me regarding the fight against Wilder versus Helenius. Tell me, what's your knowledge about Helenius?
First of all, thank you for welcoming me. I appreciate that. And my personal experience comes from being a fan and being a historian and looking at particular fights. But when it comes to Robert Helenius, I mean, we're talking about a guy who's just as tall as Deontay Wilder and quite heavy, and his weight ranges between 238 to 265 pounds. Robert has been in the fighting game for a while. He has fought noticeable fighters such as Dillian White, lost a unanimous decision towards, but actually gave him a run for his money. But what's interesting also is that he actually got knocked out by Gerald Washington, who is one of Wilder's most noticeable wins, because Gerald is a great technician and a great fighter, but once Deontay just put that heavy right hand on him, he was completely out. So taking it to notice that Gerald Washington actually beat Robert Helenius, so that's something to consider, whether he would actually provide a good competition to Deontay, considering that he had a brutal and brawl with Tyson Fury in the third fight. So this is his first fight coming back, so we want to know where he is physically as well.
Yes. And as a sport like boxing, they say 80% is mental mindset,
I would agree.
Yes, so it's like, Wilder going into the Tyson Fury fight, how strong was he mentally? So, not taking anything away from Wilder, but, we can see that Tyson Fury, he was an elite fighter.
Skills,
yes,
a lot of tools,
all the ability,
all the ability.
But at the same time, boxing is a sport. If you lose, do you go out, or because they call it prize fighter?
Yes,
it's prize fighting. So if you lose and you quit, that's you. That's on you.
Absolutely.
Yes. So when a fighter loses, but he can still entertain and he can still fight and continue to go up and raise his ranking. And that's if Wilder is going to do that, he's going to be back on the top.
I don't think Deontay Wilder lost his stock just because he lost the fight against Tyson
Yes.
Fury. He lost against the best heavyweight in the world.
Yes.
The true champion, regardless of Usyk and whoever comes after. So Wilder in particular wasn't dominated like he was in the second fight.
Yeah.
So for people to think that, he's not going to grab like pay-per-views and audiences, I totally disagree with that, because everybody wants to see knockouts. That's the new trend in terms of boxing, and he has that ability. People are looking for that dynamite right hand that he has.
Yes.
So no matter who the opponent is, they're going to attend the fight. Let alone if you say mentally how he was prior to the fight of Tyson Fury, he wanted revenge because he was embarrassed. So obviously he bulked up. With his trainer Malik Scott, if I'm not mistaken. Yes. And you could see a little bit of improvement when he was actually going for the body. But Tyson, because he's such a skillful, experienced, great amateur pedigree as well as professional pedigree, was able to adjust.
And you know what it is? It's not just about going to the body, going to the head. All those things are really good. You see, Tyson Fury, he's so good at what he does. His footwork is amazing.
True.
And Wilder, he started boxing, I believe, at the age of 19, and we have to give him so much props for his accomplishment, for this period of time and what he has achieved. Most boxers they can't do that.
Especially the accomplishments in such a
short period of time.
In an older age in comparison to other fighters.
Yes.
He has gone up the rankings, but this is the thing. I mean, it's like a double-edged sword. I mean, you can win with one side, but you're also going to be attacked on the other side. And what he lacked was the head movement, the bob weaving, the ability to actually have good footwork to generate his skills in a particular way where he can actually match Tyson
Yeah,
Fury.
I don't know if you heard some people, they say Wilder is not a good boxer. The thing is, for myself being a boxing coach, when I look at Wilder, I can't say Wilder is a bad boxer, because if he was a bad boxer, if you look at his record, the only losses he has is against Tyson Fury.
Yeah.
Okay, he's an awkward fighter, and I think the reason why he's awkward is starting boxing at a later age is it's not defined as a fighter from a young age. So but the thing I have to say is, Wilder, he loves the sport so much. So even, let's say, you have you have a car that is not the best car, but you soup it up and do whatever you want to do, and you want to make it go fast.
Pimp
So
it up and put
yes,
like a nitrogen in it and just go
yes,
all the way
exactly.
through. Okay.
And I think, and it goes to anything that you do in life. I think Wilder works so hard, and even if his skills and ability is not the best, he comes out being the best because he believes in himself. And I see this guy is all about heart.
Well,
that's the beauty about Wilder.
That's the mental perception.
Yes, yes.
And that's what led him to success. And
Yes.
I think every great fighter should have that. Every great
Yes.
athlete should have that.
Yes.
So that's a really good positive note on his particular side until he meets somebody who's had the basics for so long. You've trained me. You've always talked to me about slipping the jab. You've always talked about putting space in between to measuring that space. He doesn't have those fundamentals. He's 36, turning 37 years old, and he's still trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
Or maybe he's not even putting enough work to figure it out. But there's something that other fighters said, especially Tyson Fury. We talk about this all the time. He said, like, you can teach him as much skill as you like. At the end, he's going to go back to his second nature, which is basically pummeling somebody with the right hand.
Yeah.
So that's the downfall of him. But then certainly you would give him credit for everything that he's accomplished.
Yes, of course. See, the thing is also, like, like how Wilder cuts people off, how Wilder uses the ring is quite different than a lot of traditional, high level boxers. How they move around. And I the thing is, like, comprehension, the understanding of footwork is quite different than someone who does it naturally from a young age.
True.
So, but the thing about Wilder, what makes him different is his awkwardness. And I think that if he's successful beating Helenius, and I believe he will.
I do too.
Yes, and a fight with Usyk would be just phenomenal. It will be amazing.
It'll be amazing because the way that we see it is that you have a prime, skillful, unlike any other fighter in today's generation in terms of just movement on its own was ridiculous. Because you were in the press conference, I was in the audience. We saw what Usyk did to Josh.
Yeah.
Josh is a technical fighter, but Usyk was just levels up in terms of supreme skills.
Yeah.
So for him to go against a dangerous fighter like Wilder, that's where the risk factor plays a role. Can Wilder catch him versus can Wilder take on his particular skills and fight and match blow for blow? That's the interesting part.
Exactly. Yes. Yes. And let's say Wilder goes in there and he is successful, but I believe Wilder, he has to be versatile. He has to change some ways and understand many different things of about the fight game. And I spoke with Malik Scott, and and of course he's not going to tell me a lot of things, but I always give him respect. We spoke on Instagram, how's he doing and everything. Very nice gentleman, and one thing I have to say is, a lot of people say, how does Wilder take Malik Scott as a coach? There's a reason why, because Malik Scott is a very, very intelligent man. The way he, if you take a look at the way he teaches boxing, it's not, in my opinion, he's looking at the old school style of boxing. But at the same time, I think Wilder has to bring in other perspectives in the boxing, his game plan. because
within his
camp,
particular camp and
yes,
entourage.
entourage, yeah, because different ideas will maybe help him, move around, because he has to, with his being tall and being lanky, throwing combination. Because you see, like, why would you see, the thing is, what we're forgetting, the greats, like, all the, like, guys like Larry Holmes and all these, those are the golden era of boxing. And you see those guys, yes, they fought, but at the same time, they're technical. They use their knowledge. They use their footwork.
I mean, Deontay. I don't compare him to Larry Holmes.
No, of course not.
For one particular reason, because Larry Holmes had one of the greatest left jabs of all time.
Yeah.
And Larry Holmes wasn't necessarily an orthodox. He was more of a mix of an orthodox / freestyle fighter, because he learned from the great Muhammad Ali.
Yes.
Dancing around the ring, jabbing, throwing that beautiful right hand, left hook on the inside, body punches whenever he felt like there was a close range. Deontay has the athleticism to actually move in that particular sense, not necessarily dancing around the ring, because that requires stamina.
Yep, and that's what I'm saying, because if you look at even like Sugar Ray Leonard, this is always, I have learned boxing from a young age, and I spoke to a lot of different fighters, from James Toney to Kevin Kelly, Zaire Ramin, all these fighters, they always talk about controlling distance and fighting from the outside. And I think it was I forget the boxer who I spoke to, and he was talking about Lomachenko, how Vasily Lomachenko.
Yes.
He started his career at a older age,
right?
So the car engine, it breaks down, and the reason why I'm mentioning this, even though Wilder started at an older age, but his performance level is very high.
True.
Very high. And the reason is he's at a heavyweight division, and Lomachenko as a lower division, and the lower division fighters, they only last for a short period of time at an older age. But a heavyweight, they get mature as they get older.
Because the athleticism is
different. Yes, the speed.
It's just speed of hand, speed of footwork, moving around, bobbing and weaving. But here's something I would like to give credit to Deontay.
Yeah.
Deontay picked up a lot of information from Malik Scott.
Yes.
In terms of not just bulking up, but he actually showed quite a few body shots and skills in the very first rounds against Tyson Fury. And he showed us something that we didn't really know that he had. Heart.
Look, Malik Scott, we do have to respect him. All the effort and the motivation that he gave Wilder to rise him up from where he was mentally and everything, and he deserves the credit. Okay,
he deserves the credit, because Deontay was set in his mind to get Tyson Fury from the start. He just needed someone to encourage him, and we have to give Malik Scott. But there's something I do want to say about Malik. If they could actually implement, you could say, more skills in terms of footwork, as we spoken before, and Deontay's susceptible to improving and enhancing, you could see a new Deontay.
This is what I was saying. When I spoke about Larry Holmes, what I mean, like the today's boxing heavyweight division, there are certain things that is missing. A lot of the head movements, a lot of the footwork, a lot of, so what happens is, if I'm a fighter and I'm face to face with the guy, all I do is throw combination. That's not
sustainable.
Yes, this is not boxing. Boxing is about technicality. It's about movement. You're using angles. So we want to see Wilder be the best fighter he can.
Absolutely.
So we wish him nothing but the best, and this should be a great fight. And Helenius is a fighter, also a very durable fighter.
He's a finished, durable fighter who's gone against quite notable opponents.
So anything can happen also.
If he lands a good one.
Yes.
That is the nature of the heavyweight championship.
Yes, and he's a Viking, man.
He is a Viking.
His ancestral bloodline from the Vikings,
Let's see if he can actually represent them well in this particular fight. On a final note, when you talk about particular angles and movement and picking shots, obviously there's a reason why people are successful in this particular approach.
Yeah.
And who's a great example of that in today's era?
Mm-hmm.
Alexander Usyk.
Yes.
Otherwise, how would he have beaten Josh at the end of the day?
And the thing is, let me say something. When we see Usyk, he's not just controlling he's controlling the distance, but he's also fighting from the outside.
Yeah.
You know, one
For
thing.
a man with a lesser reach
Yes,
and shorter
yeah.
stature. That's amazing.
But do you know Lomachenko doesn't do that though? He fights very similar to Lomachenko, but Lomachenko fights inside and outside, right?
Yes. Yes.
But Usyk is not just fighting inside and outside, but he's fighting from the exterior as well.
Yes.
So that's that. And we've seen like.
Well, what's the difference between distance and exterior? Explain that.
But of course, not like the great Muhammad Ali and Larry Holmes. Okay.
No.
Because those, what I mean by the exterior is when you fight inside, it's called pocket fighting. Right?
Yes.
When you fight it from the outside, you have arm length distance. So whether you're from your jab is from to the jaw to your chin to the left, middle, to the right side, to different angles. Okay, so you may be pivoting, you're moving around. Now, a guy who's fighting from the exterior, he's throwing combinations, stepping in, stepping out, using angles and moving around. You see the great, from our generation, Floyd Mayweather does it. Sugar Ray Leonard did it. It's rare. It's rare. And that's why, as good as Lomachenko is, this is something that he doesn't have. And that's why he will have problems.
I would agree.
Yes.
But because of the talent of Lomachenko, Vasil has shown to us.
Yes.
That he could actually be at particularly any angle he wants
Yes.
and throw from any combination
Yes.
of an angle that he wants. And that's the beauty about him. There was a nickname for him.
Yes.
It's called Matrix.
Matrix, yeah.
Because he can just flip and turn and just
Yes.
put it on you.
That's right, and that's why he will, Lomachenko will continue, and I think his career is not finished yet.
No,
I think Bob Arum he says something like he's the next best fighter next to Muhammad Ali. Well, I disagree with that, but he's one of the best amateur fighters from our generation.
Too early.
Yes, exactly, because he has not achieved what Manny Pacquiao or Floyd Mayweather has achieved, but I have to give him credit for what he has achieved as an amateur boxer.
I mean, his amateur pedigree speaks for itself. Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
But we need to give him more time to actually achieve whatever goals and objectives you have, and then we can come back to the comparisons.
Yes, and it doesn't matter where you come from, what's your nationality, what's your where you come from. For me, it's boxing. Your skills, your ability, what's your achievement.
Your work ethic as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much, and it was great having you, Noaf.
Thank you for having me.